Animated cloth dummy. I think after this one, I'm going to give myself some water and make myself some tea. Wow, this is even more again. We just went up in the ratings wise. Safe. Special containment procedures. No special containment procedure are required for SCP-492. SCP-492 can be kept in standard on-site living quarters. Requests by SCP-492 that are within the site capabilities short of violating containment protocols may be granted. So this SCP can actually talk or ask for things. In the event that SCP-492 should become hostile, incendiary devices hidden in its living quarters may be used to neutralize the threat. I mean, yeah, it's a cloth dummy. It's an animated cloth dummy. So yeah, you can just burn it. Although who knows if that actually stops. I guess that just prevents it from being a threat, but is this not a case of like the water nymph? I will never forget how horrible the Foundation treated the water nymph when she was willing to help them. Like, she was just willing to stay with them, and they just like, yeah, let's see what happens if we evaporate or freeze her body. And now she's traumatized. I'm so mad about that. Currently, due to its involvement in several other SCP projects, SCP-492 has over one security clearance, but must be accompanied by at least one security guard at all times. When outside its quarters, SCP-492 has also agreed to have a standard tracking device sewed into its skin, so that its movement may be monitored at all times. Okay. Well, it agreed to all of this, which already, makes sense why it's considered safe. It literally... that doesn't seem to have any hostile intentions, but hey, it does say should it become hostile. Maybe there was a moment it does, and maybe there's a chance it might. Especially, if you're in a foundation site that it's not really known for treating SCPs and the D class really well. Which makes kind of sense with certain things. Like with some SCPs, you just don't want them to treat it well because it's an abomination, or it's just a danger to mankind. And with and the D class are all criminals, but some of them are less criminals than others. Like some of them is like arson compared to murder. I mean, arson can be horrible depending on the situation, but let's just say like they just once, out being a complete dick, just decide to burn down a bit of the forest. Horrible. I would not recommend that. That's a shitty move to do. But like they did it once, they went to jail for it, and now they're here, and they're still like a decent human being, except that one thing, of course. And maybe they regret it. Maybe they regret doing that. They were just like, yeah, I wanted to get like, maybe they say something like, oh, I wanted to get my anger out on the world, and I decided to just burn something down, but I didn't want to murder anybody, and then I decided to burn down the forest. Again, dick move. Not a cool thing to do. Not something I would recommend at all to do, or like condone at all to do. So, but at the end, you might know like this person's actually kind of nice. But then in the SCP Foundation, they don't care. They really don't care. They will send you to your death if they feel like it. SCP-492 was formerly an animatronic dummy for a pirate attraction in a new abandoned. Okay, it's not a pizzeria. It's not a fast food chain. So we ain't got no Five Nights at Freddy vibes here. Amusement park. Due to the nature of the amusement park, it was found in SCP-492 is primarily made of low-quality synthetic cloth, and all of the hydraulic and electronic components inside it had been removed. However, due to unknown circumstances, SCP-492 has gained motor skills and sentience. Does it speak like a pirate? Just asking. It's part of a pilot attraction. Maybe it would be kind of weird if it didn't. If you just spoke normal English while wearing all this pirate garb all the time. Medical scans of it would also be kind of funny though to imagine like an SCP that's allowed to just walk around, just walking as a pirate. She was like, okay, how can I help you? Medical scans of SCP-492 has shown that it is completely hollow and is for all purposes a sapient cloth dummy. It is not known how SCP-492 can stand or move without internal or external support structures. Tests have shown that SCP-492's cloth body can expand and contract in a manner similar to human muscles. Despite the lack of nervous system, SCP-492 possesses all of the conventional 5 human senses with the exception of taste, and is perfectly capable of perceiving the environment around it. Okay. I also assume it doesn't need to eat. Like it's hollow, it's made out of cloth. I assume it doesn't have to eat or drink. It is not known how SCP-492 is able to see, talk, hear, or smell without the required organs. However, its ability to see and talk are connected to the eyes and mouth, which have been cruelly drawn on by permanent marker. As SCP, that is mean. That is kind of mean. As SCP-492's head possesses no facial features. All I imagine in my head right now is like the original Invisible Man. You know when they had like the man's just covered in cloth, and you just see the mouth like move like a little bit like that, and the eyes are like pure like black. That's what I imagine when I think of this one. Erasure of SCP-492's eyes and mouth will presumably render it unable to see or speak respectively. I mean, you don't know. Like, I wouldn't ask him. I wouldn't be like, hey, do you mind if we just erase your mouth for like a minute or two? Like, that would be... Or didn't SpongeBob erase Scribblebot mouth so he couldn't scream anymore? Or was it all the way around? So it has been a while since I watched that episode where SpongeBob created himself with a pencil. Physically, SCP-492 can feel external stimuli. Through various tests, SCP-492 was able to discern objects by touch alone. However, SCP-492 does not feel pain, or at least has no concept of what it is. Okay. I will never feel the touch of a woman, of a woman animated cloth dummy. Its body seems to be unaffected by physical attacks. Its soft cloth absorbs blunt force attacks harmlessly, and damage incurred as a result of being pierced, cut, or ripped can easily be repaired through sewing the damaged parts back together. I guess that's kind of like a surgery for him, except that he doesn't feel it, right? Or at least he has no perception of what pain is. However, one note of interest is that SCP-492 has an intense fear of fire. Most likely due to its flammable nature. In terms of strength, SCP-492 performed exceedingly poorly due to its fragile construction and lack of bones and muscle structure. SCP-492's strength is comparable to that of a human adult with markedly underdeveloped musculature. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. He's just made out of cloth. He's just bouncing around. Mentally, SCP-492 possesses all of the conventional mental patterns and thought processes that define human behavior. It can think, learn, comprehend abstract concepts, solve puzzles, and feel emotions. IQ tests reveal SCP-492 to be slightly above average at a score of circa 112. Let me just finish the sentence and pick up the call. I will cut here and then. Numerous sessions with foundation psychologists and psychoanalysts have shown no evidence of any past or present mental instability or disorder. Be right back, guys. The connection broke, but she might call back in a couple seconds. She's going. So where was it? Mentally, yeah. SCP-492 was first discovered by. There it is. Told you guys. All right, SCP-492. The lights are. It's dark in here. There's clouds outside. SCP-492. the SB effect of SCP-492 is that I will not get this one done because I get phone calls and I distract myself. Was first discovered by Agent Blank. While she was responding to the routine inspection order, a group of teenagers had broken into blank blank amusement park, which had been closed for blank years, and at the time and were later caught by local authorities. The teenagers were in a hysterical state of mind and told the local authorities that they had witnessed things coming alive in the park. The Foundation quickly took over the investigation at that point. The teenagers were taken into Foundation custody and were given a Class B amnestic before being returned to local authorities. Meanwhile, several search teams were sent into the park but found nothing of interest. Agent Blank, however, stumbled across SCP-492 while she was searching the outskirts of the park. Agent Blank then managed to convince SCP-492 to surrender itself in the Foundation custody. I don't know how I would feel as an agent. Like, I know as an agent for the SCP Foundation, I guess you have to just get used to weird shit, right? You have to just get used to seeing weird things that might or might not kill you. But I cannot imagine walking like outskirts of the park, just there's like fences and nothing, and then you just see like this walking animatronics was like outside, and you're like, halt, stop. And this thing's like, and you're like, listen, man, you can't just walk around here, you know that. Why? You can talk? Yeah, why wouldn't I be able to talk? You know, good question. What I found a bunch of SCPs that could talk, even though they shouldn't be able to. What's an SCP? Oh, buddy, come sit down with me. We have a long discussion. Then brings him to custody. Addendum 1. Due to its friendly and overly helpful attitude and non-threatening nature, Dr. Blank has decided to let SCP-492 freely interact with on-site personnel because of its previous career as an animatronics pilot. On-site staff have taken to nicknaming SCP-492 Captain Jack. Performance and opinion surveys of SCP-492 on-site staff have proven so remarkably positive that O5 administration has decided to let Dr. Blank's experiment continue indefinitely. But let's see if this sticks. Okay, and then given SCP-492 lacks of organs or flesh, SCP-492 has proven to be uniquely suited to handling certain SCPs that would be dangerous to regular humans. SCP-492 has already been cleared to participate in several experiments with safe-level SCPs. However, handling Euclid and Gita class SCP requires a security clearance upgrade and it's pending O5 review. Addendum 3. So now he's just helping. Man, this guy's awesome. He's just helping out. He's like, yeah, I'm willing. Probably because he's from an amusement park that's supposed to be all about like positivity and good vibes. So he's just out there like, yeah, dude, you can just give me whatever task you want. I'll do it. A Foundation surveillance team has been permanently posted at Blank Amusement Park after the following interview with SCP-492. Oh, really? Why? Here we go. Begin log. Do you remember when exactly you became aware of your existence? Well, I can't quite tell for sure. A day is when the sun comes up and goes down, right? That's correct. Well, then that will be about blank days to my best guess. You mean you've been wandering around that park for blank years? Is that a bad thing? No. Moving on. Did you notice anything? Oh, no, he's wholesome. He's so wholesome. No, moving on. Did you notice anything strange about the park at all? Were there any others like you? Well, I really didn't have that much reason to go back in the park. It felt like I wasted years of my life there, you know? You did. That's perfectly understandable feeling. Yeah, and the guys in the dinosaur ride kept trying to eat me. What? You can't just... No! Oh, no! I'm such a hypocrite. Now I'm such a hypocrite because I ended SCP-491 by saying you can't just end it so openly because it's just like there's so many questions. There's so many questions, like, but this one, it ended openly. But here's the thing. Maybe this is much better handled because with the SCP-491, you have too many questions that are answered. In this one, you have one. Who are the fucking dinosaur guys that tried to eat him? What does this mean? Well, like, why did it... Okay, maybe there's more than one question. Why did it try to eat you? Who are they that try to eat you? Okay, there's 2 questions. Maybe there's more. Maybe you guys have more questions. But I feel like this is a much better way to end an SCP story by just, like, this whole, like this wholesome, like, oh, this is nice. And then, like, this one dog comment, you're just like, what? It's like if it's like if a Scooby-Doo mystery happened and they take the mask off and they're like, yeah, and you try to scare people away, so you can steal the gold from the mines. It's like, and I wouldn't have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you messing kids. And then out of nowhere, one of the cops is like, oh yeah, he's also responsible for 1 murder. And you're like, excuse me, what? Like, we know he tried to scare people by wearing a monster mask and just to get gold. But he's a murder. He's also a murderer. Like, whoa. Where did that come from? Man, I like this one. Like, I feel like the reason why I like it is because it goes into detail of, like, the biology of the SCP. Like, it's not only that, but then it also gives you an understanding of how it is character-wise with a very simple, like, yeah, I've been alive. I've been running around for this many days, and then it's like that many years. And he's like, is that bad? You immediately understand he is just a wholesome character. You understand that he just literally all he wants is not to be a burden, and to be helpful, and make people happy. And I think it's so cool. Not only that, they also call him Captain Jack. There's a lot of good stuff in this. I think there's a lot of good stuff in this SCP, and I really do enjoy this one. This one is great. Give me in the comments what you guys think about this one. I'm sorry about the phone calls as well. Like, but I mean, should I be? Not really. At the end, I'm not really sorry about it, but it has disrupted the flow a little bit. It does ruin the flow and entertainment section, but you know, my life, my decisions. All right.